Okay, so that final research essay assignment just dropped, right? And yeah, it can feel like you're staring up at this giant mountain. But what if I told you we have a map? That's exactly what this is. We're going to break this whole thing down step by step and turn that big, scary challenge into a clear path to an essay you'll actually be proud of.
All right, first things first. Let's kind of reframe how we're looking at this. This isn't just another paper. Think of it as the capstone for the whole semester. It's really the final challenge where you get to show off all those skills you've been working on, the critical thinking, the writing, the research, the whole shebang. And believe me, it is a journey. You're going to start by picking a topic, diving deep into the research, then you'll build out your bibliography, put together a presentation, even record a draft. The whole process is designed to build on itself, one step at a time, leading up to that peer review, which, honestly, is going to help you polish that final paper before you hit submit.
You know, before you build anything, you need the blueprint, right? Well, for us, that's the assignment prompt. And getting these rules right from the get-go, it's not about just avoiding mistakes. It's about setting yourself up for success from the very beginning. Okay, let's break down the nitty-gritty, the core requirements. We're aiming for 1,500 words. You need 7 to 10 solid, reliable sources. Citations have to be perfect MLA style. But listen up, because there are 2 rules here you absolutely cannot forget. First, you're writing in the third person only. No, I think or you should. And second, and this one is a game changer, each body paragraph needs its own unique source. Think about that for a second. That rule forces you to build a much wider, more solid argument instead of just leaning on 1 or 2 sources over and over again.
Now for a number that is absolutely critical. 10%. That's it. That is the absolute max amount of your essay that can be direct quotes. Why? Because this assignment isn't about just stitching together what other people said. The real challenge, and honestly where you're going to get the big points, is in your analysis. It's about explaining the research in your voice, using those sources to back you up, not to do the talking for you.
All right, so we know the rules of the game. Now it's time to make your first big play, choosing your topic. This is huge because it's the foundation for everything else. The goal here is to find something that, yeah, is interesting to you, but also, and this is key, fits the assignment's focus on deep, solution-based research.
So how do you actually find that perfect topic? Well, lucky for us, there's a pretty clear do this and avoid this list. You definitely want to find a real problem, something that affects a lot of people, where you can actually find research on potential solutions. Just as important is what to stay away from. You'll see things like gun control on the avoid list. Now, it's not because those topics aren't important, they absolutely are. It's just that they're way too broad and often super polarized, which makes them almost impossible to tackle well in just 1,500 words.
Okay, I know 1,500 words can sound pretty intimidating, but here's the good news. You are not writing this all in one weekend. This is a journey that's broken down over several weeks into these really manageable chunks, these milestones. Let's take a look at the timeline. See how this all builds on itself logically? In week 12, all you have to worry about is your research question. That's it. Then that question becomes your guide for your bibliography in week 13. Your question and your sources then become the backbone for your presentation in week 14. See? Each step is a small, doable task that gets you ready for the next one, leading you right up to that final draft in week 16 without all the stress.
Yeah, Master Yoda definitely has the right idea on this one. This schedule, it's your secret weapon against that last-minute panic. Seriously, if you just trust the process and hit these weekly deadlines, you'll be feeling calm, cool, and collected when that final due date finally rolls around.
All right, so topic, check. Schedule, we've got a plan. Now we get to the real heart of the essay, building your argument. This is where we shift from planning and logistics to actually constructing a really powerful, persuasive piece of writing. I want you to burn this simple question into your brain. Who should be doing what? This is your North Star. Every single piece of research, every paragraph, every sentence you write should be laser-focused on answering this question. In fact, your thesis statement, it's just the direct, one-sentence answer to that question. That's it.
So how do you actually build the body of the essay to support that thesis? It's a really straightforward 3-step process. Seriously. Step 1, you're going to write about 6 to 8 topic sentences. Each one is just a clear reason why your solution is the right one. Step 2, you assign one unique source to each of those reasons. Remember that rule? And then step 3, I love this analogy. Think of your sources as expert witnesses. You are the lawyer, and you're calling them to the stand to use their data, their analysis to prove your points to the jury, which is your...
Okay, we've covered the rules, the timeline, the structure. We are almost there.
This is the final push. Let's talk about the mindset and the strategy that's going to help you cross that finish line with a really strong, compelling essay.
This is so important to remember. You might find a source halfway through that completely changes how you see your topic. Or maybe you'll hit a dead end and realize you need to pivot a little. That is not failure. That's just what real research looks like. It's almost never a straight line. It's a winding path. So you have to give yourself the grace, and more importantly, the time, to deal with those changes when they happen.
And here's one last tip, and it's for writing a conclusion that really packs a punch. Don't just summarize what you've already said. That's boring. Instead, answer this question. What will happen if your solution is accepted? Paint a picture of that better future. Show the reader the real-world impact. Answering that question is the key to leaving your reader with a final thought that's memorable and actually looks forward. You've got the map. Now it's time to get started.